Welcome, everybody. It's Football Discussion Daily. My name is Joe, here with co-host
View.
CGO, or George. Today, there's a lot to talk about. PSG won in France, brings them 4 points clear since Lens, drew yesterday. Barcelona played before Madrid this week. They won 4-1. Lamine Yamal scored a hat trick. So they're going 4 points clear, at least until Madrid plays tomorrow. In the Premier League, we had Bournemouth and Sunderland in the early game 1-1. We had Liverpool score, 5 set goals, I believe all off set pieces. We had Everton beat Newcastle 3-2 with one of the best saves I've seen from Jordan Pickford at the last minute. We had a very run-of-the-mill, boring routine. Brentford beat Burnley 4-3. And then we had Man City beat Leeds 1-0 in the late game. So, George, I don't know which games you want to talk about first. Did any of these results surprise you? Also, we had Bayern Munich beat Dortmund 3-2.
Yes.
Did any of these results surprise you, George?
I I don't think maybe the only one that I would say surprised me a bit was Everton going to St. James's Park to get a 3-2 victory against Newcastle. Maybe that's the only surprise. But every other result is something that we all expected to happen. So that's the only result I'm a bit surprised about because I never expected that Everton, having lost to Manchester United at home, will go to Newcastle's home at St. James's Park and get the 3 points. But
Mm-hmm.
today they went there and they did it in a very good manner. And then you made mention of Pickford's save, and that makes him the first choice goalkeeper of the English national team. For someone to be the first choice of the English national team, it shows that person must be very, very good at what he does. One thing I like about Pickford is his reflexes are so sharp, and you see him using those great reflexes to even save Everton. In so many games, you see him making a lot of outstanding saves. So it's a pity that he's in a club like Everton because somebody of Pickford's level, I'm sure, is supposed to be being goal for one of the top 16 in the Premier League, if you ask me. But in football, these things normally happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I don't know which keeper on the top six he's better than. I think he's definitely better than Onana. But Onana's no longer keeper for Manchester United.
Of
He was a
course,
keeper for
yes.
way too long. I also, as far as number one for England, I think that says more. Pickford's good. He's not great. I mean, I've never been impressed with Nick Pope or Aaron Ramsdale. I think they are two of the most overrated keepers I've seen. Um, Jordan Pickford is good. I feel like at Everton is right around his level. Um, I'm he's not gonna lose England a tournament, but he's not gonna be make crazy saves. Today's save against Newcastle was great. He extended his hand. Also, more than the save, that hit from Sandro Tonali was impressive. This is something that, as a soccer player, I dream of that goal coming out to me every single time there's a corner kick. I'm like, it's going to happen. I'm going to hit it right like Sandro Tonali. And if the goalie saves it, my teammates will still be like, you know, that is the kind of contact you dream of as a player. Obviously, Sandro Tonali is going to hit that more consistently than Joe, but still very impressive from him to attempt it, to see it, to try it, to hit that in stride. Just an exceptional strike. I was very impressive.
But did you hear about the speculation that Arsenal wants to see if they can sign Sandro Tonali? The guy is a very, very outstanding midfielder, one of the best in the Premier League, if you ask me.
I've heard his agent, trying to mention a lot of teams. I don't know how many of those are his agent just riling things up to get more money. I don't know how much of it is real. We'll see this summer. I don't think he solves. I think he obviously improves most teams, including Arsenal, but I don't think he solves the problem Arsenal has right now, which is they have Saka is an elite attacker, and and they don't have, in my opinion, other elite attackers. So, but we'll see. We'll see.
So you don't think Arsenal needs the services of Sandro Tonali?
No, I don't think. I'm not saying he doesn't improve that team, but I think that if you have 80 million to spend, it's definitely better spent elsewhere. Like, yeah, that's all I gotta say.
So
Um,
which game today was there any game that you surprised you today?
Obviously, I watched the Brentford game. I made a joke earlier that it was run of the mill. It was anything but. Brentford went up 3-0 very early, and with three very good goals, we're completely on top of things. We scored an own goal right before halftime from Michael
Yes.
Coyote. And Michael Coyote, by the way, I've heard a lot of people say he's going to move on this summer. No, like I watch him week to week. He makes mistakes every now and again. That he once he gets out of his game, he'll be one of the best fullbacks in the league, if not the best. He has
Yes.
these mistakes. He makes them every couple games. He is exceptional. Other than that, and he made a mistake right before halftime, allowed him back into the game. Our normal keeper had a kid, or his partner did, sorry, was out today. I think that also influenced the communication between the back line and defense. Burnley came out, Kraken scored 2 goals in the second half. Brentford scored to come to winning at 4-3, and at the end of the game, uh, Burnley scored a goal that was unfortunately called back for them.
Yes.
Fortunately for us, I felt that by the letter of the law, this should have been called back. It did hit Ashley Barnes in the arm that was at his side. I don't feel like that rule is. I disagree with that rule. If your hand is here and not making your body bigger, and it hits and it falls down, you kick it in. It should be a goal. It's not a goal if a defender has his arm here and the ball hits your hand. Why should it be for an attacker? I feel like I disagree with that rule, but it is the letter of the law as is, and that goal was. I think the call was called consistent with the rules. I just think it's a baloney rule.
But Joe, is there anything you think the Premier League can do concerning this inconsistency in officiating? Because we've seen cases where scenarios of such kind, the referees allowed it to count. So, what do you think they need to do for
The
us to have
rule
some level of consistency?
the rule is clear, and the rule was right today. If your hand it does if it hits your hand, it doesn't matter if your hand is right on your body. If your hand is like this, if it leads to a goal, that is a handball. That is the rule. I think if your hands are not making your body bigger, just like a defender, and it hits your hand, then it's fair game. It's like if Ashley Barnes didn't have arms, it would have hit his chest, it would have fallen down, he would have scored. I feel for Burnley because that rule is I don't agree with it, but I feel like it's a bad rule.
Well, it seems because we had similar scenario in Chelsea's Leeds game where there was an handball that led to a goal. But the explanation they gave was since it wasn't the person that committed the handball accidentally that scored the goal, that was why that goal counted. So
That's
probably because in this case it was the same person who committed the foul that scored. That was why it was overruled.
I think across the board, if your hands aren't making your body bigger, it shouldn't be a handball. That's it. It doesn't matter the scenario. If your hands are making your body bigger, it doesn't matter what you're doing. That's a handball. If it hits you above the sleeve line and your body hands aren't right on your body, that should be a handball. It does not matter where. And if your hands are right by your side, it hits your hand. It doesn't matter. That is my opinion.
So the question I would like to ask you again as a Brentford supporter, when Brentford almost bottled their 3 goal lead, or like I say they already bottled it before they got the fourth one, what was going through your mind when it was 3-3?
This is a good lesson for these players. I feel like there's leaders in our team that aren't gonna let a 3 goal lead lightly. But in the Premier League, if you let off 1%, even your Burnleys or your Wolves of this world can come back. Just like Wolves came back against Arsenal. I feel like at the end of the game, Keith Andrews is yelling at his team. He's also a new manager in Premier League, and he knows that. But it's another thing to experience it and to reinforce that via experience. So, we as a fan, I'm like, this is too entertaining. I still thought we would win, and of course we did. But at the end of the day, also I'll say I don't feel guilty about that goal being called back for Burnley. I've been on the wrong side of those enough in my playing days to not feel that guilty about it. But it was very unfortunate. But I felt it was a very exciting game, and I felt after the first half I was riding high. Like this is the best I've seen us play for 30 minutes.
Were you able to? I don't know if you were able to see the game between Liverpool and West Ham. For me, uh, the the game was. If you look at the scoreline, if you don't watch the game, you would think probably Liverpool have played West Ham. But I saw a West Ham United team that played so well today. But I feel they were very unlucky in some parts of the game, unable to score goals. Liverpool were able to take their chances, and apart from that, they capitalized on their set piece because most of the goal resulted from set piece. Apart from maybe the own goal, this guy called Disasi, the own goal he committed that led to Liverpool's goal. Most of the goals Liverpool scored in this game, and then let's say the one from Gakpo was not, because that was a brilliant move from him, scoring that fantastic goal. But the first three goals in the first half were all from set piece. It
Yeah,
seems Liverpool are really doing a lot on their set piece, trying to use that to their advantage. What do you think about that?
Liverpool are a club. You know, if Brentford had 10 times the budget, that'd be Liverpool. Like they are analytics gurus. They use it to sign players. They use it to play style. They use it to say, here's where I'm going to say meta of the game is going. Like the strategies that are working for these elite clubs. Liverpool's ahead of the game on all of that from a data. I mean, all these clubs have data and analytics departments. I think Liverpool forces their coaches to buy in a little bit more, and they specifically seek out coaches like Slot who are open to what is our analytics team telling us on terms of both signings and play style and injuries. Injuries is a huge part of this analytics part too that all these clubs are doing. And Liverpool specifically seek out Slot and Klopp to say, hey, we're going to work partner with my football expertise and your analytics expertise and your healthcare expertise in order to do it. I think it's a really cool aspect of where this game is going. And set pieces is one thing, but injuries has been huge too the last couple of years, and how much are these players running, and what is this player capable of versus this player capable of. It's very interesting to see where that sport's going.
So Joe, now Liverpool has the same point with Manchester United, even though Manchester United still have an outstanding game to play against Crystal Palace tomorrow. Do you see a situation where Liverpool might topple Aston Villa because they are just 3 points? It's just 3 points between them and Villa. Do you see that happening as we keep approaching the end of the Premier League season?
Yeah, I mean, I think those four teams will be very tight from now to the end of the season: Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa, and Chelsea. I think it'll, I think it'll be Liverpool, um, United, Villa, Chelsea in that order. What about you?
Well, I think it will be Manchester United in third place. We'll be having Chelsea in fourth, Liverpool fifth, and then Villa sixth.
Okay, good to know. All right, George. What about Leeds versus Man City? Did you watch this game?
Yes, I watched the game. When I saw the lineup and Alan wasn't in the lineup, I was thinking this might be a very, very tough game for Manchester City. But somehow they were able to ground out the result, courtesy of a goal from Antoine Semedo. That was a very well, nice taking goal. A cross from Ike Nori, who made a cross. And then this guy was able to square the pass to Tom Semedo, and Semedo converted the goal. But I love one thing about Leeds United. In the last 10 minutes of the game, I saw a very highly spirited Leeds United team that fought so hard. They wanted to see if they can get a equalizer. And to be honest with you, Manchester City were very fortunate that the Leeds United didn't get the equalizer. But there's something I would like to ask you. There was an handball in that game. Do you think that was supposed to be a penalty or not?
I don't recall the incident. I had the game on in the back. I watched most of it. I'm not sure I'm following the incident.
Yes,
Who was it?
there was a pull out. There was a pull out towards the ending of the game, and but the explanation was the VAR didn't call for a review because they said the hand was in a natural position. So that
Okay.
was what made them not to review that because the coach of Leeds United was very furious when the incident wasn't reviewed. And in
I'm
fact,
pulling it
he
up.
got a red card.
I'm pulling it up right now, and I'm gonna say
And Daniel Farke was given a red card for trying to challenge the referee in that
I
game.
will I will say over the course of the game, I thought Leeds were fantastic. I thought they opened up the game really well. I thought that um they pushed hard. that they had tons of chances. I thought my initial thought the first 20 minutes of the game, oh, I think that's a handball. I'm looking at it right now. His hand was
Yes.
way out of his body. I just gave my rant about handballs, what I feel like the rule should be. If your hands are, if it's making your body bigger and it hits your hand, there's
Oh,
objectively a
so
handball. It doesn't
there
matter.
was no review. So these are the issues with the Premier League. Most times, officiating is not consistent. So they need to do something about making sure that there's consistency when it comes to officiating, when it comes to very critical decisions being
There
made
needs
by
to be
referees.
George. There's no accountability right now with them. Like the refs who run the who judge other refs are the refs. And so if you have 30 people and they're all like, if one of them messes up, it's the other 29 in charge of review. If they all those 30 people hang out and agree and they're like, oh, let's never punish one another, that's effectively what's happened with the refs in this league. There's two incidents I'll come out of this game with. Number one, there's an incident about 12 minutes in where it's Ramadan right now, and they pause the game for 2 minutes. I don't think they announced it beforehand on the field. They put it on the big screen during the minute, but they didn't announce it. And the Leeds fans booed, and there were several Muslim players from Manchester City, Marmoush, Ryan Cherky, who went over and got water, Ryan A. Lenore, and I felt football is about togetherness and celebrating other cultures. That's what football is about for me, and I felt that the Leeds fans cheering that on, that is not very consistent with like what I appreciate about football. Well, I'm a American Christian Jewish guy talking to a Nigerian Christian about soccer right now every day, and I feel like celebrating different cultures is one of the beautiful parts of soccer, and booing a particular culture is not good. The second thing, again, Leeds, I feel like have a lot of fight in them. I felt they had it for 90 minutes, and I feel like they're going to stay up, and we'll see. I think the last spot will probably go to Nottingham Forest. That's my guess.
Do you think because now Manchester City is just 2 points 2 points away from Arsenal, do you think that they will win the trophy? They will
I
displace
told you,
Arsenal.
I told you, I do think that. I don't think Arsenal's going to drop points tomorrow. I think that they're up for bigger games. I think that they'll drop points in other games than Man City, more than Man City will. But 2 points at this point of the season, which is what it'll be, is nothing. So we'll see. It'll be an exciting end to the season either way.
Okay, so for Leeds United, remember they are not too far away from the relegation zone. With the way they've been playing, are you very impressed? And do you think that they won't get relegated because they are not too far from those in the relegation zone?
George, I just told you I don't feel like Leeds will get relegated. I think that it'll be Nottingham Forest going down instead of West Ham. I think that even Tottenham are more likely than Leeds to go down. If Tottenham didn't have their name in front of them, I feel like there'd be a lot of people saying Tottenham's going down. But I think it'll be Nottingham Forest at the end of the day.
So we all agree that Burnley is going, will be relegated, Wolves will be relegated, and then the
Yeah,
third person for you think is going to be Wolves. I mean,
I
sorry, Nottingham Forest, sorry.
I do, yeah. And I think all three relegated teams are better than any of the six teams from the last 2 years. I think it's just one of those years. What about you, George? Who do you think's going down?
Um, I would like to think, I think Nottingham Forest is that team that is either going to be either Nottingham Forest or Tottenham because the Western team I watched today, they look very good. So, and between Nottingham Forest and Tottenham, Tottenham has not been that convincing. So I'm thinking it's going to be one of them, either Nottingham Forest or Tottenham.
You know what I saw a crazy statistic, George? The last time that Bournemouth lost a game, Semenyo was in the team, a Premier League game. So it's been at least 7 or 8 games or something like that. I thought that was a crazy statistic. But all right, George, here's a question for you. In the past, I've said sometimes at this point of the season, you see a couple teams who are safe kind of coast through the end of the season because, like, hey, like we're not going to get to Europe, but we're also not going to get relegated. Who cares? It's just there's less on the line. Do you see any teams right now on that in that coasting mode?
Everton already has 40 points, and most times the benchmark for teams that will most likely not get relegated is teams who have attained the 40 points
Yeah,
target. So, what it shows is that Everton has no business with anything that has to do with being relegated. So they are very safe at this point. That's the implication.
No, I was saying, do you see any teams who are like less competitive on the field every week because they're mentally checked out because they believe they're safe? Because I was thinking, I saw Sunderland today, and I feel like they're, I don't know if they've been figured out by other teams, but I feel like they have less intensity about them than they did earlier in the season.
Well, if you look at Sunderland started dropping in form due to the absence of Gareth Xhaka. Xhaka is back in the team, and you
He played
see
today.
that, yeah, he was there today, and you saw the improvement in the team. So I feel he's that player that adds a lot of fire in the team and motivates the team. So his presence in the team does a lot for the team. So I feel that's the reason why his absence really affected them. Now that he's back, I think the team is back again. They're playing much better than they did in the few, let me say, the few games that Granit Xhaka wasn't part of. So that's what I see with Sunderland. And one thing
Okay.
you must understand, most of these players will always like to impress because they want to be seen by the bigger club. So I don't feel that any of those teams will relax because maybe because they are safe, they won't give their best. I feel players would like to give their best so that other clubs can come for them because they will also like to aim better than they are aiming currently. Because what a bigger club could offer in terms of in terms of salary can be compared to what the
You
lower
know,
teams will offer you.
George, I disagree. When I say turn off, I mean you're playing at 99% instead of 100, and at this level with those margins at Premier League, I do feel like that's a huge, massive difference. But again, we'll see. I do think Sunderland has, I felt they've been more intense earlier in the season, but we'll see how the season plays
But
out.
there's a question I'd like to ask you quickly before we round up. Now, don't you think Sunderland, if they can win their games, they still stand a chance mathematically of still maybe making it into Europe? Because you can't write off that. Even if it is the Conference League, they wouldn't mind to be there.
I mean, mathematically, they have a chance at Conference League, sure. I do feel like they are not one of the 8 or 9 best teams in the league this year, and I do feel like they are massive underdogs, even completely healthy for that. And they do feel like they came out with a lot of intensity that has ramped down a bit. And yeah, but we'll see how the season plays out, George. I love being wrong. I love it when these teams prove Joe wrong. And I am just a neutral observer who has watched a lot of soccer. I'm not a Nostradamus. So let me close out today with our standard questions. Number one, the Ashley Barnes situation. I made it clear. I feel like by the rules of the handball, do you agree with my take that that rule should be rewritten, the handball rule? Let us know your thoughts. Number two, Man City handball situation. I saw it. It looked like it touched his hand. It looked like the player didn't know where it was, but his hand was clearly over here. Do you feel like that should have been given? Do you feel like Man City is going to catch Arsenal? And what was your favorite goal of the day? And I'll give a fifth question. George had a take on West Ham being really good today, despite losing 5-2. Do you feel like they have what it takes to catch Nottingham Forest, to catch or Leeds or Tottenham, or any of these teams towards the bottom? We'd love to know your thoughts. Let us know. Thank you.